All right, so this video is coming to you because of my experience in the sports betting world. I work with a lot of bookies and I've been scammed by them, by numerous bookies. You know, some I've worked with for a while and then they finally decide not to pay me because I win too much. And then some start off right away. They're just running a scam from the beginning. And I want to share with you how not to get scammed by these bookies. There's some that you cannot prevent, which comes later if they are working with you for so long and finally decide not to pay you. Those ones are harder to, I guess, weed out because they're actually legit, but then they end up not being a man of their word and decide not to pay you at the end because you took too much of their money. But that's not the type of guy that I'm talking about today. I am talking about these guys that try and get you to open up an account and they never pay you at all, period, point blank. They were running a scam from the beginning, and I've ran into these guys so many times because I myself look for bookies, and the bookies are always looking for somebody to scam, and I want to help prevent that. I don't want that to happen to you, and I want to share with you my experience, what I've learned. And it actually just happened to me recently, and I can't believe I allowed that to happen. And one of the reasons that it happened was because this guy was referred to me by a guy that I trust. And that, all of a sudden, as soon as he started working with him, he told me that he was a scammer. Oh, great. I can't believe I let this happen. So I'm going to talk to you about how to spot these guys and what you don't want to do. Number one, okay, you need to know if this guy is a bookie himself, which means that he's supporting the book. He is the one that's paying out all the bets, or if he is an agent. Most likely, the guy is an agent, but so if you don't understand the bookie or the agent, the bookie is the guy that is covering all the wins and losses. The agent is the one working for the bookie, and he's basically getting players for the bookie, and the bookie is the one giving money to the agent, and the agent is paying the players. Now, this agent can be a scammer. He can sign up with a bookie and say that I'm going to get some players, and he actually never pays out the players. If they actually win, he gives them an account, and and then they get all set up, and then he just never pays out. So it's important to know if you're working with the bookie or the agent, because that helps you determine the things that they talk about. What are they doing, and how they pay out, all this stuff. So if you're not familiar with the bookie world, it works like a weekly transaction. They give you credit, and from every week, and then at the end of that week, if you're positive or negative, then you either have to pay or they pay you. And so learning if he's a bookie or an agent helps you understand if this guy is making sense or not with the things that he's saying. So, he'll probably like to brag. He pays out this and pays out that. And, if he says he's a bookie, you want to see if his lifestyle matches that of a bookie. If bookies always win, they have a very wealthy lifestyle. At least they're not living broke. They probably drive a nice car, probably have a nice house, and because they run a book, which means they're making a lot of money from a lot of losers. So if this guy is not driving a nice car, or at least a decent car, and doesn't live a decent life, and he's telling you he's a bookie, that's a red flag right there. If he tells you he's an agent, okay, that makes more sense. He's just an agent, and he's working for the book. Okay, so that's one thing. Does his lifestyle make sense with who he says he is? Number two, get the ID. Get the ID. Okay, I've gotten the ID of somebody that I ran in that said he's an agent, and he showed me his ID, and I didn't copy it, or I didn't take a photo of it. And to me, I thought that was all I needed. Met the guy in person, saw his ID, and I thought it was okay. And come to find out, he ghosted me as soon as I beat him for $5,000 in the first week. Gone. I couldn't believe it. Like, wow. Okay, I saw his ID, but I didn't record it. I saw his driver, his license plate, but that's doing nothing for me. So, that was a mistake on my part. You really want to get a photo of this agent's ID. If he's a book, maybe he doesn't want to share his ID. Well, don't work with that guy. If he's scared to give you his information, I don't know. It's kind of sketchy because I will tell you on the other side, real bookies, they will ask you for your information. If you're going to be a player and you're going to do that, he's going to ask you for your information. So it should be common courtesy that you can ask them for their information, and they'll be willing to share it with you. If they're not willing to do that, I would start walking away, because that could already be a red flag right there. The last thing, and this is the biggest thing, and by this time you're already gonna get scammed. This the scamming bookies or agents always pressure you to post up. Now, not all agents or books that tell you to post up are scammers, but they're that's the first part of the scam. When it comes to scamming agents, they're already getting money out of you, and that's what recently happened to me. A guy vouched for this new book, and I said, okay, well, he told me about it. I know this guy, and he told me about this book, and he got an account with him, so okay, I'm gonna get an account with him. And he told me to do post up. I was like, no, I'm not interested in post up. If you're not familiar with post up, that means you gotta put like 25% down or something like that, or 50% down to get the rest in credit. So if I wanted a $2,000 account every week, he wants me to put like $500 down, right? So I did that because this guy vouched for him, and he said he had an account with him, and that's the guy that I know. And come to find out, he is a scammer. But the one thing that I didn't realize that I want to share with you guys is how much pressure he put on me to post up that day that we were introduced. I told him that I will do it tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. It was already getting late. He was like, it's just going to take 5 minutes. Don't worry about it. I'm busy tomorrow. He kept giving me reasons to do it now, do it now. And I was like, yeah, if he's busy tomorrow, I won't be able to get my plays in, blah, blah, blah. Don't do it. If somebody is pressuring you to do it right then and there, you do not want to work with them. Do not post up right away. Give it time. Give it a couple day or two. Let's see if they settle down, because these guys like to talk. That's another sign. These guys are either texting you so much, and they're trying to work the next part of the scam. Like this guy was trying to get me to send him another more post up the next day. Like crazy. I couldn't believe it. And I just don't want you guys to run into that. So these are how you spot a fake bookie, a fake scammer. Just basically, as long as you are not posting up, do not post up. And you might win in that first week. Let's say you don't post up, you saw the ID, everything's all good, and you won that first week. Don't go winning $5,000 in the first week, because that is money for them. So if you're not familiar with, as I mentioned, the agent gets paid by the bookie pays the agent, and the agent's supposed to pay the player. Now, if you as a player won $5,000 in the first week, this agent gets paid from the book, and he keeps it. That is your money, and he just decided to keep it. So don't win so much in the first week. Just take it easy. And if you lose, then fine, you lose, but try and win a little bit, and let's see how it goes, and build that relationship with the guy. But number one, do not post up. All right, this is Ken with Better Culture. I share with you tips on how to, beat the books, how to make more winning bets. So keep following along, like and subscribe. Thank you for your time.